Welcome back to another used bin pickup video. This is going to be the second part of my insane disc golf haul where I had 40 of the most collectible discs I've ever found in the used bins because somebody decided they were done with disc golf and dumped them all in there, and I timed it perfectly. So these are going to be the Innova discs that we picked up. There's some really cool ones in here, especially the KJ Nybo Swirled Star pre-flight number Teebird. It is a very overstable Teebird. I've already gone out and thrown this one. It is a beefcake. It is like one of the solid overstable eagles. So finding a Teebird that actually flies overstable is really hard. So if you like this mold, this one is for you. It's a $12 pickup, just a classic. And it's my favorite Innova logo with, the Innova with the actual disc going through it. Look out for that type of a logo. If you're looking in the used bins, you might find some really, really cool, valuable old Innova plastic. So that is the KJ Nybo Teebird. Very cool disc. And this is a Protoar TL3. We were really trying to figure out what disc this was. And we were able to use some of the other discs out there in the used bins to finally match it up. We knew it was a 7-speed of some sort from Innova. I love the Protoar. It's basically the first time they ran this disc in the plastic. So this is a TL3. It's been used, of course, but it's that old Innova plastic that's so firm. These fly the best. So definitely adding that to the collection. And this one I missed on one of the last videos, actually. This was a Innova FL. This one, which is absolutely just board flat. And it's got the plastic, it's a glow plastic, but it's super old glow plastic. And glow, when you add that into the plastic, it gives it like a buttery texture, if that makes sense. It just feels stupidly good. So I put a die on this. It was kind of funny because it said Dynamic Discs was the logo on there, because a long time ago, Dynamic Discs was basically a distributor for a bunch of different brands. They did stamps, and then they branched out to build their own manufacturing, their own discs like we see today. So I threw a little die on it. It was super ugly. This was a $10 Champion plastic disc, and you know me, I'll dye some stuff, make it look interesting. And so I put some orange on this side, some blue and red here. Kind of wish it went red, but hindsight's 2020, and it flies incredibly well. So this one is a Destroyer, but the interesting thing about this one, it's double stamped. It's a Swirled Star Destroyer. So it's a little bit older of a Destroyer. It's super flat and stiff. The parting line on this one is super high. So I can, just by looking at this disc and feeling this disc and throwing it twice, incredibly overstable Destroyer. So older run, and it's kind of cool because it has a Ricky Wysocki 21 Texas State Disc Golf Championship with the Jen Allen. I want to say it's the 21 Tour Series Teebird stamp on there. So that was cool. I don't know if any of you picked up some of the F2 Tour Series boxes from Innova a couple years ago. I'm like 99% sure that's where that came from. And then speaking of that, it says Thunderbird, but this is actually a Teebird. So this one has the same stamp as that KJ Nybo 11-time disc that I was just showing earlier. It's the yellow one underneath it. And then it's got a Jeremy Colling Thunderbird Tour Series stamp. And this one is an old stamp. I'll have to look up which year the Colling stamp was, but it's pretty cool. It's like a swirled Teebird, and it feels exactly like that KJ Nybo. Almost like a Discmania FD2 is actually what that feels like. So they kind of got us with the Thunderbird stamp on the last disc, but this one is an actual Thunderbird. This is one of the XXL Thunderbird stamps that they ran. It's super cool. Got some lightning in there. I guess they're playing off like the Thunderbird theme, which is pretty cool. And it's the pearly opaque type of plastic that if you find this from Innova, usually it's going to be a bit stiffer. I don't know what it is about the plastic when it's actually going through the process, but these are always super interesting ones to find. Incredibly good throwers as well, but just such a cool stamp. Then I've got a Echo Star Destroyer. Now the Echo Star Destroyer These are $8. There was like 4 of these, and there was some out there in the used bins. Echo Star plastic is pretty old, has this really cool stamp on it. While it like feels like Star plastic, there is something a little bit different. So in the comments below, let me know what the Echo Star plastic is. I know I've found a couple Echo Star discs that in the past, for some reason, it just feels like it would be a really good destroyer. And for $8, definitely immediate pickup. Then I've got 2 of these right here, which are I think these are the 21 Tour Series Eagles, if I remember correctly, or 2020. I'm pretty sure these are 21s because that's when I started playing disc golf. Got a purple one and a green one. I love bagging Eagles, but Eagles are one of the hardest discs to find a really good one with, which actually reminds me, I couldn't figure out where I put that. It's already in the bag. This is the other Champion Eagle I got. It is like FAF Eagle. So stiff. Sometimes when you look at the plastic, if it's got these little like ripples inside of it and you feel like it's super firm, those are really good discs to pick up. This was a $10 disc. It is a basically flat top. It's like an FAF Eagle. It's basically the best thing I can describe it. It flies very, very, very true to the flight numbers, if not a little bit more overstable, which is, again, so hard to find in Eagles these days. So as soon as I felt this, I was like, that's an immediate possible add to the bag. So we're going to see how that goes. And then if I don't like this, I have 2 other Eagles that I can possibly throw and see how they do. And then to wrap up my used bin updates, I actually found one of my favorite runs of destroyers. So I actually ended up finding 2 of these. They're $12 each. This one is pretty used and this one is brand new. Now I have some in my bag. I've bagged both of these before. These are they're the 2020 series. They're a lot harder to come by. I probably paid like 40 to 50 bucks for both of these discs, like individually. So this is like my go-to forehand disc. This one is just so neutral right now. I'm trying to limit the number of destroyers I have in my bag, but this is like the next one in. So these are awesome. I'm gonna keep this one in the bag, but it's now nice to have some backups from my favorite run of Halo destroyers. So we've got this one, which is like just the blue and the white, which has a really good Halo Star plastic feel. And I've got this green one, which is pretty unique. I like the blue and the green on there with that gold shatter stamp. It's pretty sweet. Both those, again, $12 pickup. So that is what I found from Innova. I have plenty that I'm gonna be throwing and see if I can add to the bag. That's always my goal, is if I go to the used bins, can I find a disc that fits what I'm looking for, which is typically Champion plastic, super stiff, because I grip the disc, I don't know, maybe I grip the disc super hard, I don't know, but it always comes out more accurate for me whenever I have hard, stiff plastic. Plenty of jokes to be made there. Should hear my wife whenever I talk about discs. We're gonna stop this conversation here, but I love finding cool stuff in the used bins. I hope you guys liked it. If you liked any of these, let me know which ones you liked the best out of this find. And we're gonna go throw some of these again. I'll catch you guys in the next used bin one. We got Discmania coming up right after this.